timeless. It's a statement piece. The technology in Timeless is unprecedented, it's unique, it's innovative, it's industry leading. You're going to see the most powerful symmetrical weight blocks mixed with our most successful cover stock. The pins have no chance. This is why the ball is timeless.
Hello and welcome to Goldwater, Ohio. It is the 2017 PBA Xtra Frame Kenn-Feld Group Classic. Van McNeil here, about to start up the Stepladder Finals with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. But before we get going here with the Stepladder Finals, a very special presentation. Let's join PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson laneside. Randy?
All right, everybody, welcome back. We have a special presentation. Thank you, thank you. All right, Goldwater, Ohio. It's been a great event thus far. We're getting set for the Stepladder Finals, but before we get there, special presentation. And to do these honors, I'd like to introduce the commissioner of the PBA Tour, Mr. Tom Clark.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, everybody. It's first of all, it's great to be here in Goldwater. Awesome host. Great first time here, and it's awesome to be here. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. This is the last event in the Xtra Frame Tour series of 7 events, and throughout those events we counted points for achievements in those tournaments towards the Storm Cup, and this is the first ever Storm Cup. And what it did was it brought a lot of the top players out every week to compete for the overall championship in the Storm Cup and to try to cash. And the winner of the Storm Cup this year was decided actually yesterday, based on points here in Goldwater. You know him and love him. He's the reigning PBA Player of the Year. He had an awesome series. He bowled all 7 events, made the cut in every single event, and the cash that he got, and we thank Storm for their contribution, $20,000, Mr. EJ Tackett. Want to do the trophy?
Now, EJ, you got a beautiful trophy here, and we have a special guest that's going to present that all the way from Utah, Brigham City, Utah, the president of Storm Bowling Products, Mr. Dave Sims. Dave?
Thanks. Hey, thanks, Goldwater. You're awesome. Thanks. Hey, EJ, your perseverance has paid off, and it's with great pleasure on behalf of the entire Storm family that I present to you the Storm Cup, the Xtra Frame Storm Cup. Congratulations, EJ.
Thank you.
Hey, it's been a great couple of years for you in the last 7 Xtra Frame events. EJ, you were spectacular, making the top 5 in 4 of them, finishing second twice. But what a run it's been, the reigning Player of the Year. Congratulations on $20,000 in the first annual Storm Cup, Xtra Frame Storm Cup. What do you attribute all this success to?
You know, I've just been doing my own thing for a long time, and the last couple of years, everything just started coming together. Things started going my way, and I'm starting to see the fruits of all the hard work.
Another $20,000, EJ Tackett. Folks, lots of great action coming your way. It is the Stepladder Finals starting in just a few minutes. Congratulations, EJ Tackett.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello again and welcome to Pla-Mor Lanes in Goldwater, Ohio. Van McNeil alongside PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Very nice job in the presentation of the Storm Cup there, Randy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's always nice to have the commissioner and then obviously the president of the company that sponsored and put up all the money for the 7 weeks of this Xtra Frame Tour.
You ready to get started?
That I've been, that I was a part of, and it was great. It was great action. You know, think about what that added money did. The player that finished second in the Storm Cup point race is from England.
Right.
Don Barrett was here.
Dom, yeah.
Shota Kawazoe was here bowling for pretty much every Xtra Frame event except for this one. And so it really added to Xtra Frame.
From Rockledge, Florida, Jason Sterner.
Bobby Jekyll with the introduction of our first match in Joe Bailey out of Wooster, Ohio. And Jason Sterner out of Rockledge, Florida. Talking about both Jason and Joe prior to this match after the round of 8. Joe said if he could stay calm, cool, and collected through this opening match, he would be in a good position. We'll see how we go. First frame.
Now watch the players in warm-ups, and they're playing this pair completely different than what we've seen all week long.
Re-oil here of the Tournament of Champions oil pattern, 39 feet of fun or frustration.
I mean, that's a good 15 to 17 boards right of where the players played game 1 this morning.
Right. Some of our players, that natural knee-jerk reaction is to migrate left. Jason Sterner in his opening frame.
A little deeper, but not near as deep as they were. I wonder if Sterner and Joe Bailey got together and said, listen, in order for us to have a chance to win, we can't play 6th arrow and beat Chris Vi.
So
just throwing it out there.
I don't want to say a tag team effort here, but
just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it is a possibility.
This guy's a great player. Shot maker. Works real hard on his game. Got a nice break.
You got to on a... Well, it's not so much the pattern that is difficult. It's topography and how the pairs and lanes themselves play.
Yeah, you know, I think the beauty of this center is, number one, the area that it's in and the support. But number two, you know, we talk about topography and we talk about how tough this place plays, and everybody knows it. All the players know it, the league bowlers know it, the owners know it, and you know what? No one cares. It's just a great place to bowl.
It's a true test.
You know, normally when you would talk about a proprietor center in that manner, you're gonna catch hell the next day.
Wait a minute, yeah.
You know, how dare you? But this, everybody knows it.
It's a testament to this place.
There's bowlers that have been coming here for all 10 years of this event, and they're going to continue to come as long as Rick and Linus and their people have this event.
Yeah,
they're not going to miss this tournament because it's just that awesome.
Not just the bowling itself, the events surrounding this tournament. Golf tournament Thursday. Nice cookout for the bowlers and sponsors past couple of days, and Joe doing what he told me he was going to try to stay calm, cool, and collected, and getting a little fast there, it looked like.
Yeah, it looked a little speedy.
Could be nerves under these Xtra Frame lights.
No, could be.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not human if you're not feeling those nerves. And I think that's why Joe continues to play this down. So an open for Joe Bailey out of Wooster, Ohio. Let's see if Flash steps on the gas here. Joe Bailey, 4. Jason Sterner, 3. Rhino Page at 2. Chris Vi, our top spot, our leader.
Needs to hook. Oh, unlucky. When you see the palms facing the ground after a shot, the player's like, all right, hey, take it easy. Hey, take it easy. Relax.
Gotta calm it down.
Settle down now. Easy single pin attempt.
Well, you know the whole nerves game out here, the whole mental game out here. You've done it. You've experienced it.
Sterner's feeling the same nerves, but, you know, he's been in this position before. And after a few shots, he's going to be fine. And the thing about it is, as a newcomer to this venue, you have to understand that there's going to be nerves involved.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that thinks they're not going to be nervous under these circumstances, well, they're just lying to themselves.
Sterner, fourth frame.
Yeah, good shot there. I just think it's really interesting and has changed the entire dynamics of this tournament based on where the players are playing this pair. I mean, they're so much farther to the right.
Different than what they were playing during match play and qualifying even. But on a fresh pattern, you would think they would revert back to where they once started.
Right, and that's why I'm thinking that maybe they tag team and broke the lanes down a certain way. Shot. And so the way that they would have done that would have been taking surface, meaning something that's maybe sanded with 500 grit, 500 grit Avalon pad, and thrown it straight up second arrow to try to create a hook spot.
Yeah, let the ball do the work. Start making those grooves.
And they're literally 3 zones right of where they were the first game of the top 16 when I came in at about noon, 1 o'clock. I mean, this isn't even close to where they have been playing the whole week.
Right. Up the middle for Bailey.
Yeah, and that's because he went. That's because of the split he left in the third.
Didn't want to get too far out.
When he left the 2-4-10, this is, you know, the brain goes, okay, well remember last time on this lane, and so that's the that's the compensatory move.
Sometimes you can just be too safe, and that'll get you into some trouble. So Joe converts his spare. Quickly back to Mr. Stern. You can see him trying to control his breathing, trying to stay calm out there.
Oh no, he's good right now because 1, he's making good shots, 2, he's got a nice lead, and 3, he knows that he's going up against a newcomer. Didn't like the start.
Either some noise or...
I think it was just kind of a feel thing. He didn't like the way he got the ball initiated into the swing.
No time limit out here, no shot clock, so should be able to take your time, readjust, get back into that routine. That looks good. Solid pocket strike for Jason Sterner.
Well, he's doing some really good stuff with his hand and with his equipment. He's getting the ball to roll up and stop, thus controlling the end of the pattern. Just in between 3rd and 4th arrow, and then there you can see the down lane reaction. It's just beautiful.
Nice showing of support here. Pla-Mor Lanes. It's been a great week. Proprietors Linus and Rick taking care of the entire field. Sterner now looking to build on his lead. 6th frame.
Beautiful shot.
And just when you think a ball is going to keep sailing and going right, it grabs there at the end. As we look at the replay here, a ball like that during qualifying and match play would have kept going.
Yeah, and this is, again, the players playing a completely different part of the lane, but the reason why that ball reacted the way it did was because of the touch that Jason Sterner put on. His hands in a great spot, rolling it up the back and making sure that the ball's reading the old pattern. Where was it that Sterner made? Didn't he make another Stepladder finals? Was it in Wilmington? It was in Wilmington.
And Joe Bailey continues with his struggles. See, that's the kind of reaction I expected out of Sterner's ball. It just kept going and never grabbed.
Different hand.
Different hand. Different type of play. Different type of mentality on the lane. Needs to pick this up.
Shot. Yeah, he needs to start striking. I mean, obviously this was a big conversion, but Sterner's already in the 220s. Joe's at 191.
Right. But difficult to string strikes here in this house at Pla-Mor Lanes. We've only seen as much as a 5 or 6 bagger at times.
Well, it has been, but I'm not sure it's the case now based on where they're playing. Although Jason's making them look pretty easy and Joe is not.
Mm-hmm.
Ball change. That looked like a pretty good shot, and the ball just never picked up.
Perhaps too much speed on this ball as we look at the replay again. Up 12 about. And just never picked up from there. Joe averaged 205 out here.
Folks back home are saying, hey, I've got a buddy that averages 205 in the league.
Oh, no.
Yeah, trust me, that there is no way. there is absolutely zero comparison. These guys averaging 205 this week is like somebody averaging 260 on a house shot.
Yeah, absolutely. For you league bowlers that are watching, if your house offers a PBA experience league or a sports shot league, definitely take advantage of that. There's nothing like a sports shot to make things humble.
Yeah, I mean, this pattern was so incredibly brutal. It'd be like trying to gargle with peanut butter. Well, obviously not what he wanted, but his lead is so big right now. Still, you want to kind of keep your foot on the pedal and get some great momentum going into the next match. But it was just a little bit left to target, and he pays for it. He'll still be in the 2 teens.
Right. Just a little bit. It's not 3, 4, 5 boards that you would see on a house pattern. There's no room for error out here. You miss a board, you miss big. Jason trying to pump himself up.
Wasn't terrible. And all is forgiven if he converts the 2-5.
Got to make those spares out here. Sterner throwing a phantom, as we can see there, for his
easy. Easy. Let's not get silly now, Jason. Come on. He's got a nice lead. All you have to do is just keep filling frames. Max score right now for Joe Bailey, 219. Jason Sterner going at a 214 pace. So this is where you'd like to give your opponent something to think about.
a strike here in the 8th and 9th for Joe Bailey, and Sterner will have something to think about.
See if Joe makes that come to fruition, and he does.
Great shot. So here's what you do now when you're Joe Bailey. You strike in the 9th, and your opponent then looks over and goes, well, if he strikes out, he can shoot 219. I need a double to lock him out. So I'd need a strike in the 9th and 10th, or 2 in the 10th if I mark in the 9th. But the point is, give your opponent something to think about.
As a bowler, that's part of this game, mental game in it. Joe Bailey, 9th frame. And he is on, Randy. He is there.
Well, he did his job. He did exactly what he needed to do. And he knows, all right, 2 more in the 10th and good count. I could possibly steal this away from Jason Sterner.
Telling me before the match he needed to stay calm, cool, and collected. If he could do that, he would be okay. Sterner, on the other hand, still dealing with the woes of this house. Difficult lane play. Sterner again.
I think that was somebody in the audience that coughed in the middle of his push away. That wasn't Jason. Things are getting interesting now, though, with that huge double by Joe Bailey in the 8th and 9th.
You were right, Randy. Making him think. Making him get out of his head maybe a little bit. Regroups. Goes through the routine again. Here we go. Sterner, 9th frame.
Left.
Hurry.
Yeah, it was left the whole way. Now things are going to start getting even more interesting. The 3-6-10 you can't take for granted. Jason went from being in absolutely perfect stroke mode to all of a sudden a little questionable the last 3 frames.
You put in what Joe Bailey did. He put the pedal to the metal, did the pressure to Jason Sterner. He had that bulk with the fan and still stays the course. He's not happy with it, but pick up your spares and save your game.
Double in 9, it's a shutout. Anything less, Joe Bailey still has a chance.
The winner of this match will move on to our semifinal match against Orlando, Florida's Rhino Page.
Or as he's known in Japan, Rhino Page.
Rhino Page. Aye. Kept on sailing.
Well, just like that, Joe Bailey is back in the match.
Looking at the replay, along the same lines that he was, just too far out, 17 to 12, 11.
Be careful with this.
Don't want to give it away now.
Phil's shot very important now, guys, because if he strikes on this shot, that will force Joe Bailey to get a double. If he doesn't strike on this shot, Bailey would just need the first hit. Say if Sterner gets 9, Bailey would need strike 9 spare to tie.
Needs a strike.
Yeah, it was a good shot.
Trips out the 10.
His good shots, when he gets them going a little bit to the right, always pick up. And this was a good one. 10 pin cooperates, 6 goes to the sidewall, kicks a 10 out late. Bailey needs 2 in the 10th to advance.
So while Joe put the pressure on Jason Sterner, Flash returns the favor to Mr. Bailey. Cat and mouse game out here. You've been in this situation before.
Well, Bailey looked like he was done. And then all of a sudden, the open in the 7th, he comes back with a double.
10th frame for Bailey, needs it, fell out of it.
Yeah, didn't like it. It was left out of his hand immediately. Sterner wins. He'll move on to take on Rhino Page.
And look at the reaction from Jason Sterner. Van McNeil alongside PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson will be joined by PBA Commissioner Tom Clark, along with the president of Storm, Mr. Dave Sims. Coming up next here, as the 2017 PBA Xtra Frame Kenn-Feld Group Classic continues here from Pla-Mor Lanes in Goldwater, Ohio, it'll be Jason Sterner taking on Rhino Page in our semifinal match. And before we get to our next match, we bring in PBA Commissioner Tom Clark with the very special guest, Tom.
Hey, Van. Thank you very much. It's great to be here in Goldwater. Yes, I'm here with Dave Sims from Storm, our great partner. Dave and the whole Storm team got behind this Xtra Frame Tour series this year, and we were able to, working together, able to add the Storm Cup to the series, and it really enhanced the entire program. It got a lot of the great players out bowling regularly. We love the Xtra Frame Tour because it gets the PBA into more communities like this one here in Goldwater, Ohio, and it gives our fans of Xtra Frame a chance to watch national championship events live. So having live bowling and getting into more communities and getting our players out bowling more, and it all was enhanced this year due to Storm. So, Dave, I want to thank you publicly for that.
Hey, Tom, it's been a pleasure to be a part of this, and it's been some great events. This has been a great event here, and, our goal is to grow the sport, and this is just one of the ways we're working toward it. So.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, this place is pretty special here in Goldwater. And the other places where the Xtra Frame Tour hit this year, places like in Delaware and in Lubbock and Jonesboro and where else were we? South Carolina. I mean, really neat communities filled with people that really appreciate the PBA coming to town. And they saw great finals just like you're seeing here today. And all the winners of these events, Sean Rash last week, I think Josh Blanchard, obviously, that you're seeing here, won one of these events. Dick Allen won an event. EJ Tackett, obviously, winning the Storm Cup. We were able to give him his trophy today. But who else won? There was someone else. I know who they all are because they all bowl for the Motown Muscle, Del Ballard's team. Francois Lavoie. Yeah. Francois Lavoie, he won. So, and Anthony Simonson, boom, another Motown Muscle team member. They all won. So, great tournaments, though. I hope the fans, and whenever I get a chance, just for a couple of minutes to be on Xtra Frame, I want to thank everyone that's watching right now and everyone that subscribes to Xtra Frame, because you're really the lifeblood of the PBA Tour. Sponsors like Dave Sims and Storm are incredibly important. The players are incredibly important. But the number one thing is fans. Without fans, we really have nothing. They make pro sports go.
Yeah, and Xtra Frame, these Xtra Frame events, they are special because they do come to some of these smaller communities. And it's a great way to expose championship bowling to a lot of these smaller communities. And like this Goldwater group here, I mean, these folks came out in droves. The entire community got behind this. They got great sponsors, and they've run a great program. And once again, this is kind of the modern PBA Tour right now.
That's for sure. Marshall Kent, too. I forgot about him. I think this next match has started, hasn't it? Has it? Has the next match begun? Or are they still practicing? Okay, they're still practicing. Sorry, I was getting worried there. I'm like, wow, I don't want to miss the action.
A couple more hours.
That's how well, when I'm home watching Xtra Frame, I'm constantly thinking Jeff is forgetting to watch the bowling.
Yes. Following someone's directive to play a video over the practice and then getting nervous about the practice. So, thank you.
No, these guys, the Xtra Frame crew has been incredible throughout this whole entire series. Bringing on people like Van and Chris Sedenka.
Chris is great.
He's great.
Yeah.
You know, and bringing on Phil, obviously, with Jeff, who really runs the show. Dave Schroeder kind of manages everything from our PBA offices. And Randy Peterson as our lead voice on the whole Xtra Frame Tour series. It's actually better than than TV because you get to watch the entire tournament. And you get to watch some great bowling today just to see who made the show. And, you know, when everybody talks about the glory days of the PBA, they sometimes forget to notice the things that are actually even better today than they were back in the day. I would have loved as a kid to be able to watch Earl Anthony and Mark Roth, you know, beat each other up in the position round to see who was going to make a show. And today you can watch that stuff. And
right. And then we take it a step further and we ask the bowlers their insight. What were you thinking when you were throwing the ball here? What were you thinking when you left this 7-10 split? And Dave, for you to see the community of Coldwater rally around these bowlers, you see a lot of Storm shirts out here, so there's definitely some love for the company.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really appreciate it. Looks like the next match is getting ready to start. We got some great action coming.
What's your number 2 seed?
Well, I got to take Rhino here.
You take Rhino in this one.
Got to take Rhino.
And then what about Chris Vi? You know, he's the tournament leader, another Storm guy who I'm really excited to watch bowl for a title.
Yeah, you know, Chris won here a couple of years ago, and he finished here second in the regional last year, so Chris is real familiar with this place. And you know, he came out like a rocket last night in qualifying, so he's really capable.
Well, we're either going to have a proven champion, Jason Sterner or Rhino Page, or a first-time PBA champion, because now Chris Vi is a member, so this will count as his first title, PBA title, and now this is the first time that this event is actually a national tour event as well. So no matter what, it's going to be exciting. And once again, thanks to the fans for watching. Van, I'll give it back to you. I know everybody wants to listen to Randy.
All right, thank you. PBA Commissioner Tom Clark, along with the president of Storm Bowling Company, Mr. Dave Sims.
Thanks for the kind words, Tom. I don't know. It was all bullshit. Well, it's always great to have the commissioner here, and then obviously the support from industry leaders, and obviously big thanks to Dave Sims, Bill Chrisman, and everybody at Storm for the great support.
Yeah, oh goodness, Rhino staring down that 8-pin. If it weren't for people and companies like Dave and Storm, that's $20,000 that wouldn't be out here.
Well, you know, I said it yesterday. If it wasn't for the support from all of the manufacturers, we wouldn't have a tour.
Very true. Very true. Hey, you got some nice words there from the commissioner.
What did he say? I didn't hear it.
The lead dog of our Xtra Frame crew, and of course you are, Randy. Everyone around here, they love to see you. They love to see you out and about.
I don't know if I'd use the word everyone, but
most.
There's probably a few that tolerate me. But I enjoy it. I think it's an honor and a privilege to be able to call the action for the sport that I've been involved with for almost 40 years. And, you know, it's just it's been a great run, and I hope to continue to call the action for many years to come. As Rhino Page gets out to a nice start, and the interesting thing about this match is, what did Rhino Page do in practice to help himself? So it's all about ball reaction. It's all about setting the lanes up. He's the only left-hander. He's got the whole left side of the lane to himself, and we'll have to wait and see what his execution looks like and what his ball reaction looks like.
He said prior to the match, had a chance to talk to him, if he doesn't execute well, he's doing fine right now, but if he doesn't execute well later in the game, oh goodness, Rhino may have to make a ball change. But what happened here with Jason Sterner?
Well, in the words of Bob Uecker, this was just a bit outside.
Oh yeah.
And he caught all of the slickness to the right side of the lane, and honestly, if he converts this spare, it may as well be 9 in a spare. He's on a strike.
Right.
He doesn't lose any count.
Right. Needs to convert, though. You don't want to open the door early. He's got that.
Well,
Okay.
that's not only going to hurt the scorer, it's going to hurt the psyche, because when you throw an errant shot like that for a guy like Jason Sterner, that's not going to sit well.
Right.
You go back home and look at that and go, I got 3 off the right. Now, I get that they're hard, and it doesn't take a whole lot to not hit the pocket, but it takes a little bit more to get 3.
Right.
And he knows it.
Make the adjustment here. Sterner, 3rd frame, semifinal match.
Solid 9 for Jason Sterner.
A little bit more direct. Flush through the nose.
Rhino Page left the solid 8 on that lane.
Sterner trying to keep his mind off of things. Rhino, meanwhile, in a quick re-rack. Looking to step on the gas and take advantage. 3rd frame.
Beautiful shot. I'll tell you, ever since Wilmington, I've thought that Rhino's been a different guy, and he's rededicated himself to the sport, changed his grip, changed a bunch of things in his physical game, and he's worked really, really hard, and it's paid off.
Well, you know, Randy, it's a grind out here. You start stringing together some bad showings, and that grates on you after a while. Sometimes you need to step away a little bit to get back involved. And Rhino is dialed in. 3-bagger for Mr. Page.
And this was the one thing that I felt the right-handers had to be concerned with, was how Rhino Page broke down his side of the lane for the Stepladder finals, and so far, so good.
So one left-hander can affect lane play for the righties.
No, he can't. He's not affecting lane play for the righties.
For the righties, okay.
He was able to create something for himself.
And Sterner still in a bit of trouble. Wheels are spinning. I think you were right. That open really got into his craw.
Well, he got 3 off the right on that lane the last time he was up, and the natural tendency is to not miss right again.
Right. You don't want to do the same thing.
Sterner's in trouble.
Yeah. Can see it in his body language. Not a happy man, but you have to find a way to stay calm out here. You get into your head a little bit, and then that could easily take you out. Attitude is everything, as they say. Again, through the nose.
And there you see the posture of frustration when he gives it his A shot, if you will, and he goes 4-pin.
Good ball up his line. What do you have to do?
Solid 9 4-pin back-to-back on the left lane. And this is where Rhino Page steps up and imposes his will. working on 3 in a row. Sterner's got an open, and this is where you want to take full advantage of your opponent. And right now, Rhino Page is thinking one thing and one thing only. That's throwing 2 more strikes, increasing his lead, and throwing a 5-bagger.
See if the hard work and dedication pay off here. Rhino Page, 5th frame of our semifinal match. And that needed to hurry, but what a break.
Looked a little fast, and you could see him saying, hey, slow down, take it easy. And that's adrenaline. That's knowing the moment, and then the moment getting the best of the player. But this is a great break, tripping the 9 and the 10 out late, just leaving the 3-pin. He can make this with his eyes closed, one hand tied behind his back.
And does, without having to tie the man up. The wheels out there in competition are constantly turning. You're looking at the score. You're doing the math in your head. You're trying to keep track of what's going on out on the lane and how it's playing. How do you even keep track of everything out here?
Yeah, but once you step up on the approach, that's when the wheels have to stop turning.
Yeah. Paralysis through analysis. You got to turn it off, at least at some time. That looks like a better shot.
It was. And he's fine. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's got the lead, and he's forced Jason Sterner to have to string strikes to get back in this match. The last thing, and the one thing he has to avoid, is an open frame. Make the spares, move on. That's it. And we have Deadwood.
A Deadwood clear. The winner of this match will meet our top seed from Springfield, Ohio, Mr. Chris Vi.
Pretty good form there on the right-handed toss to clear the Deadwood for Rhino Page. I like it.
No wasting any time.
No upper body movement. Swing was straight. Looked good.
He likes it. Smile back to the audience. Very big thank you to all of our official PBA sponsors like Barbasol, Brunswick, Geico, HotelPlanner.com, and the United States Bowling Congress. Don't forget about GoBowling.com, our newest partnership here in the PBA. Sterner, 6th frame. And he's in some trouble here, Randy.
He moved in and actually threw a pretty good shot, but it was the wrong move. It was that ball hydroplanes. You can see he's much farther left now than when he started. That ball never came around the corner. Right now he's making it pretty easy for Rhino Page.
Pick up the split here, maybe save face a little bit.
He looked like he was going to really do some great things halfway through game 1. And now his ball reaction is gone.
Oh, it goes away that quick out here. You have a line for a minute, and next thing you know, it evaporates. That, or you're throwing in a little extra hand or a little extra ball speed.
Great shot. I don't think he's done anything wrong except for the 3-6 in the second frame. He's made a couple of bad shots where he got it in, but the 2-4-10 on the right lane I thought was a good shot. He moved in and made the adjustment, and based on where they were playing in game 1, that would be the natural progression.
Right.
Now, maybe it was the wrong hand or maybe a little bit too much speed. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustment he makes the next time he's back up on the right lane. But right now, Rhino Page in complete control. Whoa.
Whoa is right. As we look at the replay on that one, he's talking to himself on that one, but too much ball speed?
Too slow.
Too slow.
Yeah, remember the last time on that lane?
Yeah.
He went light and left the 3-pin, and he said, all right, easy, not so fast. That time it was too slow.
Got to find the happy medium. This is not a house shot, a house pattern by any means.
I'm not even sure this is a pattern.
We did re-oil here for the Stepladder finals, whereas we didn't in the round of 32, 16, and 8.
And I know this is called the TSC pattern, but I'd rename this pattern to Mission Impossible. Just throwing it out there.
Rhino Page out of Orlando, Florida. Trying to put the pedal to the metal here, 8th frame. That was a nice ball.
It is. It was a good shot. The problem that I have is when you make a really good shot and you go week 7.
Time to
that's not going to sit well.
Time to make an adjustment.
And keep in mind, he really doesn't have to do anything other than go 9 spare the rest of the game. He wins, but at some point you start looking ahead, and you got to ask yourself, do I have enough to get past Chris Vi?
Right. The answer right now may be no, but
maybe yes. We don't know what Chris Vi's ball reaction is going to look like.
Right. Still have Jason Sterner to deal with here.
I think that Rhino Page has a good enough ball reaction to shoot 192.02 if he really executes like a robot. He could probably shoot 220 or 30. Question is, what does Chris Vi have? And we don't know that. Based on what Jason Sterner has, it doesn't look that promising. However, Chris Vi made these lanes look pretty easy compared to the rest of the field. He averaged almost 10 pins a game higher than the next highest right-hander.
Insane.
Yeah, and that's the natural. He tried to get a little softer to make it come around the corner. It looked like it might have been a little left, but it's a big wide open split, the 3-4-6-7. Rhino Page is going to win and take on Chris Vi for the title.
Chris won this tournament in 2013. Talking to him prior to the match, this is one of his favorite houses, and a nice conversion, a bit of excitement from Jason Sterner. That gets the crowd going here in Coldwater.
Got me going. Great conversion. Way to go, Jason. Class act, good guy. Everybody loves Jason Sterner out here. Respected by his peers, his players. Great Brunswick staffer. I know Chuck Gardner's watching this, is one of his favorite guys to work with right here.
And his line just went away. He hasn't been able to find it since earlier this game.
You ever seen those commercials where a guy's out on a deserted island by himself, and just there's no hope.
Right.
It's just a guy by himself on an island, deserted.
Tom Hanks with the volleyball out there.
That's this. Oh, no, there is no Wilson.
Oh, there is no Wilson?
There is no Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, Wilson's gone.
Oh, you're out there by yourself then.
Here comes a ball change for Rhino Page.
And this is what he said. If he had to go to that ball change, he might be into some trouble. Let's see if it proves beneficial for him. Rhino Page, 9th frame. Hey, that paid off.
He went to a stronger ball, moved in. And with that, he has to increase angle. When you increase angle, you also increase the mistake area.
I almost saw.
Meaning that his angle is now going much more to the left. If he misses target left, it could be 5. So I have to watch and see if this is the right play. And there you go. ring 7 with that ball, flat 7 with the other ball, and right now as a player you're going, all right, do I just flip a coin or what do I do?
Or are you throwing 2 different balls on 2 different lanes, which we've seen before?
Both shots on lane 9 resulted in a 7-pin, just 2 different ones.
This is the time to experiment. And another deadwood clear here. Pla-Mor Lanes.
Well, he's going to probably throw that exact same ball once again. And if he leaves another ring 7, that's going to factor into this title match. You know, and you bowl a certain way the entire week, and it's kind of hard to deviate from that plan. And what worked so well for Jason Sterner and a lot of the other right-handers was keeping their hand up the back of it and making that nice smooth transition down lane. It almost looks like the lanes have developed in a certain way to where Jason needs to actually tilt it more or rotate more so that when he does get it right, it comes around the corner. But
changing up your angle, your entry angle a little bit.
And that's what he's going to be thinking about after this match. Is, well, what if I – and it's always easy after the fact. But
what if I would have, should have.
Right.
Yeah. There's that deadwood clear. Sterner wraps up his game, and it will be Rhino Page moving on to meet our tournament leader. He won the tournament in 2013 rather. It'll be Rhino Page taking on Chris Vi for the championship here at the 2017 PBA Xtra Frame Kenn-Feld Group Classic.
Well, from Springfield, Ohio, Mr. Chris Vi. Chris has lane choice. He has elected Rhino to begin the match. Goldwater, how about a nice round of applause for our final 2 competitors of the 2017 Kenn-Feld Group Classic.
Tournament Director Bobby Jekyll introducing our final players here, and an interesting nugget. Van McNeil alongside PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. Chris Vi giving starting duties to Rhino Page.
Yeah, on Rhino gets to start on the lane, and they left back-to-back 7 pins on. Rhino gets finished on the right lane.
So a bit of strategy here for Mr. Vi.
Well, if it was me, the only reason why I would do this would be because I have a better look on the left lane. Rhino proved that he had trouble striking on the left lane when he went flat 7, changed balls, went ring 7. So I'm thinking the reason why Chris decided to finish on the left lane was A, he has a better look on that lane, and B, maybe he wants to finish the match first and make Rhino sit and then get up and finish the match in the 10th frame.
Right, put all the pressure on Rhino. Depends on the bowler too. If it were me, maybe if it were you, it would be you'd be starting the match. You want to end, but it's all strategy. It's all how you're going to play the game. This guy has been bowling buckets out here. Springfield, Ohio's Chris Vi. Championship match. Red twice there. Took that little skip, as we'll see here in the replay.
Interesting.
And moved there, right there again, about the 45-foot mark.
Using a real strong, solid, reactive, symmetrical bowling ball, and that ball just looked like it was on a sheet of ice for about 55 feet.
And already in the hole here, opening frame.
Right, and so this is telling because the next shot is going to say a lot about him and his moxie. You know, how well does he rebound from that opening first frame? I mean, he's never been in this position before for a national title. He's won here before. He's won in this building before.
Right, but he was not.
But it wasn't for a title.
Yeah.
It wasn't for a national title. And he knows he's got his hands full with Rhino Page. I mean, Rhino Page is a proven tour winner, and he's been bowling really well of late.
Rhino rededicating himself to bowling, and Mr. Vi here can't find that line he had during match play and qualifying.
If you notice, folks, the two-handed style of Chris Vai doesn't use his thumb. Very Jason Belmonte-ish. And I think what's very interesting to note is that Chris has a dog, a wiener dog, named Belmo. He has a dachshund at home named Belmo. I think that's pretty cool.
Very nice.
I want to get a bulldog and name him Yoda.
Bulldog Yoda.
I want to get my son and I want to get a bulldog and name him Yoda. I know that was a bit random, but it kind of went with the dog theme.
Sure,
So,
absolutely.
all right, back to bowling.
Dogs and rhinos and strikes and spares here. It's the 2017 PBA Xtra Frame Kenn-Feld Group Classic Championship match.
I wonder if it's just the ball change on the left lane for Rhino. This looks like the same ball he used last game on this lane. So he's going with a little weaker ball.
And paid off for him.
I think his ball reaction is a little bit better on that lane, not to mention the fact his carry is a little bit better, but it's going to be interesting to see what he does on the left lane now because, again, he went to the stronger ball, left that ring in 7, 10th frame of last game, and then first ball here goes, he goes high. He's going back to what he used. He's going to dance with the one he brung.
And save himself with the other ball on the other lane. It's now that's a whole different level. 2 different balls, 2 different lanes. That's a lot to remember.
Look out. It's okay.
Trying to help it along, but that ball kept skating.
Well, it's a pretty good shot here, and you're right. It didn't pick up. So that if it was out of his hand properly, that tells Rhino that that lane's gotten a little snug, and he needs probably to move a board left with his feet, leave his eyes in the same spot.
So it's not necessarily a ball change, just a target change.
Well, he just changed balls.
Yeah,
He went back to the ball he was using
ball.
from the stronger ball. So he went through the nose with the stronger ball, goes back to the ball he was using,
Right.
and it goes light. I think right now he's thinking that he doesn't need a big game. So he's going to stay with a ball that he knows he can keep in the pocket or keep around the pocket, and he knows that he can grind 192.02 with that ball.
Unless Chris Vai here can put the pressure on. He won this tournament in 2013. It wasn't for a national title, but he's been in this house before, one of his favorites. He knows the deal. Solid pocket strike for Mr. Vai. And that ball looked good. This is almost a home house for Mr. Vai. While it'd be very difficult pair to pair and lane to lane, he likes those tough conditions out here.
Right now he's questioning the ball. And obviously the pattern itself has not gotten any easier, but this ball reaction is not good.
Haven't seen this out of Mr. Vai during qualifying. He had a good handle on things during match play. Is it sitting and waiting and thinking about it? Could it just be a matter of Chris being cold? Few different factors to consider.
It's a question of the oil pattern playing completely different than what we've seen all day. You know, remember when in the round of 16, these guys were playing 6th arrow.
True, but that was also
Game 1.
Yeah, and that was not on a re-oil too.
No, that was on fresh.
That
was on fresh oil.
That was on fresh.
Right? These guys are in the 6th arrow, and we commented the whole time about, look how deep these guys are. It's game 1. These guys started this Stepladder final started with the right-handers playing between 2nd and 3rd arrow.
Right. Rhino Page stepping on the gas here. And again, continuing to skate.
Yeah, I'll tell you, folks, I know that you're looking at the 3.9 right now, but I can't tell you how close this shot was to striking. I mean, that's how good a shot it was, and he was just a fraction off.
No room for error out here on this 39-foot Tournament of Champions pattern. Picks up a spare.
You want to know how to make the 3.9 if you're Rhino Page? You keep your feet in the same spot as you would for a strike ball. Miss your target aboard to the right. Your strike target. Just pull it a little
Simple,
bit.
yeah.
Just pull it a little bit. It'll make the 3.9. Rhino clean through 4. 10-pin lead. Wonder what's going on in Chris Vai's brain right now. Wonder what the nerves are like. Wonder if he's second-guessing the ball choice, the line.
I would imagine it would be his first time going through anything like that. Here, he's been bowling buckets this entire weekend. Rhino Page, 5th frame.
Can't figure out why it won't get to the pocket, and that's what's going through Rhino's head right now. Ball looks like it's on line and just never hooks enough down lane to get to the pocket. He likes that. It's on a good line. And he's testing himself with some of these leaves.
Score correction. Tournament director Bobby Jekyll. And while we have a moment here, Randy, I want to talk about the signature shirts and where the poll is standing for PBA.com and the merch department. You're in the lead.
Yeah, head on over to PBA.com and vote for the Randy shirt. Please. Good cover. You know, now here's where Chris Vai needs to step up and throw a double and put some pressure on Rhino Page. Because I promise you this, if that happens, Rhino's going to seriously have to consider making a ball change again.
And that's what he said he didn't want to do prior to the Stepladder final. That could be the downfall of Rhino, but right now it's Ohio's Chris via 5th frame.
Tried to get a little softer to get it to the pocket, and he got it in and through the nose, but only leaving the 6-pin.
Looking at the replay again, continuing to migrate left. You go too far right, it keeps skating. Left, you're going to cross over.
I mean, let's look back at his game now. So he goes 210 frame 1. In frame number 2, I can't remember. Strikes in frame 3. Frame 4, he whiffs the head pin. And the last shot goes through the nose. So, I mean, he basically has a wide range of shots that he's thrown halfway through this title match.
Still trying to find that right one that he had during match play and qualifying that got him here in this position.
Interesting the way he targets, too. It looks like he looks down lane, and as he gets closer to the foul line, he brings his eyes down.
Which is unorthodox.
It's different.
Yeah, very different.
See if we can pick it up the next time he's up. Jeff Goodger, our producer. He liked that shot, went 2-pin. That's never a good thing.
Converts the spare. And we move on here to our 6th frame, 2017 PBA Xtra Frame Kenn-Feld Group Classic. Van McNeil alongside PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, Jeff Goodger, And we're looking at the replay again here. We're looking at his eyes and where he's targeting, Randy. This is what you were talking about.
That looks like he's looking at the pins.
Yeah, looking at the pins there, and then he goes
and then
down.
the eyes come back down at his target. Interesting.
Very interesting.
A little like Wes Malott, but Wes looks down at the foul line once he draws his eyes in. And it's, quite honestly, it's just whatever works.
Yeah, that's a glance at the pins. That's not a glance at those markers down lane. That's way beyond the arrows. I'll have to watch a little closer to Vi's next throw, and Rhino is in some trouble.
Well, that looked like a bad shot, like he got it left. And all of a sudden, this entire title match has changed complexions. Unless somehow Rhino can figure out a way to convert the 379. I've never seen it on television. To a 10, but not 379.
Vi opening the door for Rhino in the first frame. Rhino returning the favor here in the sixth frame. So we are not out of the woods yet. And you can see Rhino is puzzled.
Well, Chris Vi has the lead sitting on the bench for the first time since frame one. He's been trailing the entire match, and now he is leading by 5 without even throwing a double.
Perhaps it was all part of the master plan, Randy, and letting Rhino go first here. I doubt it, but Rhino Page here in the 7th. Championship match. Made the ball change and got away with one.
Made the ball change, missed target right, crossed over Brooklyn, tripped the 4 out.
Continues to scratch his head over it.
And again, the whole thing with Rhino going to a stronger bowling ball is he has to increase angle. It's something he hasn't done throughout the entirety of this event. Let's see how big that Brooklyn becomes. Rhino can turn that into a string. That's left.
And a break.
One good Brooklyn leads to another.
We see Chris migrating left. Rhino starting to make that move to the right, being a left-hander, which we didn't see too much out here during qualifying and match play.
Which player takes advantage of the Brooklyn?
Every player.
No. The question is which one of these players
right.
is going to take advantage of it, if either.
Chris Vi, 8th frame, championship match. And that one looked good. It just didn't carry as we look at the replay again.
This downlane reaction is so soft, even with his extreme high rev rate, he still can't bump the weak 10 out.
I feel like that was something that would have fallen during match play and qualifying. He's been throwing it in that area, and it's just not reacting like it was earlier today, even yesterday. But carry on, pick up your spares. Take a breath, regroup, get back out there for his next throw. Right now, he's got to watch Rhino.
Ball change on the right lane for Rhino. So he's going with a more aggressive ball. It's so hard to get yourself to pry it off when you know you don't have room left or right of target.
And look how far right he is now, Randy.
He has to open up his angle. It's a
Yeah.
stronger ball.
Yep. Hurry.
Great shot. So the question was answered. It was Rhino Page who took advantage of the Brooklyn. Well, this is a great shot, and the pins cooperated. Rhino Page with another strike here in the 9th frame, could be that much closer to winning for the first time since 2009. Singles event, that is.
Four national titles from Mr. Page. 9th frame. Oh, what a break. Holy cow. He thought that was a great shot, too.
Yeah,
Look at the replay.
That's the scary part, is he really liked this. He's running it out, and it went from him thinking it was going to strike to almost a 3-7 split. Instead, he rolls the 3 late. Right now, Chris Vi can strike out 9th and 10th and shut out Rhino Page. Good cover.
All right. What a situation here, Randy.
He needs a strike in the 9th, 2 in the 10th, and 5
to shut out.
I think. Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That'll give him 201. Max score for Rhino Page, 200.
Vi needs to strike. Oh, no.
I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Does anybody want to win?
I mean, the fortunate break for Rhino in the 9th, rolling the 3-pin, and then Chris Vi throws a pretty good shot here and just 4-9 right in his face. Now, to have any chance, he's got to slide the 4 into the 9.
Save the game here. Looks good. Nope.
Max score now 183. Rhino Page with any mark in the 10th frame is going to win title number 5.
And I'm sure Chris will look back at that shot, no matter how this plays out here.
That man this much closer to winning again for the first time in 8 years.
That's quite a drought. I don't think we're out of the woods yet, Randy. Let's see. Chris here with the trip 10, the messenger 10. You just need to put the pressure on at this point. That's
one more and he forces Rhino to mark, and we've already seen that that's no easy task.
right. Our tournament leader, Springfield, Ohio's Chris Vi, needs this strike to stay alive. 10th frame.
Over.
And that'll do it.
Page needs to stay behind the foul line, keep the ball on the lane.
Crazier things have happened in these tournaments, Randy. Tell Chris is disappointed. But it ain't over until it's over.
Rhino needs 7 on the first ball.
A very big thank you to the entire community of Goldwater, Ohio, and our gracious hosts here, Linus and Rick at Pla-Mor Lanes. There is a winner for Mr. Rhino Page. The handshake and the hug. And you got to give it up to Springfield, Ohio's Chris Vi, who had a great week out here. that point, he'll take it. We thank you for your subscription to Xtra Frame and ask that you spread the word. So let's go lane side with Randy Peterson, PBA Hall of Famer, who is standing by with our champion,
All
Mr.
right,
Rhino
thanks, guys.
Page.
How about it, folks? How about a nice round of applause for your new champion, Rhino Page? Now, Rhino, step over here next to the hardware.
No. Party foul.
Check 1, 2. All right, you guys can hear us? Rhino Page, it's been a while. About 9 years since your last singles victory, buddy. How does it feel?
I can't even catch my breath. It just feels so wonderful. I can't even put it into words, really describe it. Very, very thankful, not only for everybody here and our hosts, but for all of my team that's helped me along the way and kept my head up over the last 7 years. So,
Rhino, I know how hard you've been working over the past, say, 6 months. You came close in Wilmington and got beat by Anthony Simonson, but not this time. Talk about, because there's only so many words I can use on Xtra Frame to describe just how difficult this oil pattern was. Why don't you try to put it in your own words, just how tough this tournament is? Be careful.
well, I think this is the one place that really shows that it's not always about pattern. It's about playing the surface, playing against the conditions in front of you. And I've learned a lot over the last 6 years being here. And the only times I've really been successful, I played defense. I've kept the ball in front of me. I took all that other stuff out of play, and that's really helped me pair to pair. And, you know, you saw it on the just there. It's not like there's a lot of strikes out there. So I just relied on my spare game, and I really, really tried to be as patient as possible this week. It was hard at times, as you guys know. But that was a key.
Well, you did a great job, and we've got some awards to give away, some hardware, and some cash. Let Rick and Linus take it away, guys.
All right, thank you, Randy. On behalf of Pla-Mor Lanes and the Kenn-Feld Group and all 86 of our sponsors this year, we'd like to present you with the 10th annual 2017 PBA Xtra Frame Kenn-Feld Group Kenn-Feld Group champion. Hold that. Congratulations.
Oh, hell, taped together. I was looking for the segment.
Linus, did you want to say anything to Rhino, your new champion?
Yeah, congratulations, Rhino. I was kind of pulling for you. Congratulations to Chris Vi, a great tournament. I want to thank you for showing up. And let me give you a check. How about that be?
All right.
There you go.
There's your champion, everybody. Congratulations, Rhino Page.